Hi guys, my name is Austin Ponder. I'm here to talk to you about my movie Proposition, The Night of the Children of the Dead. So here goes. A little bit about my film. My film has really everything you need for it to be a blockbuster hit in the horror industry. It's got the gore, the jump scares, just enough romance, and it's honestly got a realistic storyline that could strike fear into just about anybody. A little bit more about my film. My film follows the story of four teenagers who are going through the beginning of the zombie apocalypse. There's Heath, Macy, Chloe, and Austin. Um, when the horror really starts, these kids are being they're typical teenagers. They've snuck away on a trip to a remote mountain, um, sneaking off, doing what teenagers do, trying to be alone with their lover or whatnot. But that's when these horrifying creatures, the children of the dead, show up, who really are kid zombies. My film, it really incorporates just about as many of the typical horror tropes that you can see throughout the horror industry and zombie industry in particular. And on top of all that, this film also has an ending that really not a lot of people going to see coming. A little bit more about the history of zombie literature and zombie films, um, so you can get a better understanding and perspective about what my film is really about. In 1932, the film White Zombie really changed the film industry forever with the horrifying zombie flick. While the zombies in the time looked a lot different than they do now, they were slow walking, mindless creatures who were created by a rich, powerful man with voodoo magic in the Caribbean. He created them basically just to serve them as slaves. Now, they do look a lot different than the zombies you'll see today and in this movie, but that's a lot to do with the culture at the time, and a lot of that was contributed to the writings of Zora Neale Hurston. She had tremendous work towards the zombie literature. She a lot of her stuff was from talked about the Caribbean and zombies and voodoo magic, and that's where a lot of the first zombie flicks really originated. Um, and a little bit more into the history of zombie literature. The landscapes of big time zombie flicks have changed constantly since White Zombie. The zombies we see today look a lot different than the zombies you see in White Zombie. And White Zombie, they were mindless, created by voodoo magic. Then they go from slow walking to fast walking. They can range just about any kind of appearance, any kind of movement. But the zombies you'll see in my movie today, they line up with the current culture and the zombie industry, and it's these fast, deadly, agile predators who really they're just deadly predators, and that's where we're at today in the zombie industry. Why the children of the dead? The idea of murderous children is enough to send shivers down anybody's spine. But I mean, if that doesn't do it for you, I mean, we can just look at some of the other horror films that have incorporated murderous evil children. Of course, you have Children of the Corn. It's an iconic movie, huge hit. And then you have Mama, which is a more recent movie. And then, of course, you have the Chucky series. But I know technically he's a doll, but he's a child, and he doesn't be taken seriously a lot like children don't. And I feel, while they are different, I feel that they're still very similar enough to mention that in this presentation. A little bit more into this. Um, these evil children have been used in horror films in the past, but the idea of the Night of the Children Dead is still very unique because no zombie film in the past has featured and solely focused on zombie children before. And I think this is a great opportunity for any investor to try to hop on that train before anybody else does. Um, More about this flick and why you should choose to invest in this film. Not only is the idea of children zombies a unique concept, but there are other films that also incorporate a virus or a disease as the cause for zombification, but no film, zombie or otherwise, has incorporated something that's happening in the real world today, such as the COVID-19 coronavirus that's really sweeping over the whole world today that we see, like this film does. This film bases zombies originated from a evolution in the coronavirus. And I think that's a huge opportunity because not only does it have a feasible, realistic plot, it's that alone, the possibility of we don't know what could happen with the future of the coronavirus that could peak and strike fear into anyone who watches this because it could happen tomorrow and none of us would ever know the wiser. And now I'm going to take you guys to a trailer for my film. So yeah, thank you guys. That's my movie trailer. I hope you guys liked it. And that's all we have time for today. Are there any questions?